What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bedivere and welcome to another episode of Zero to Hero. In today's episode, we are going to be diving back into our Factorio playthrough, and today we are going to be building our MegaBase-scale Red Circuit production. You know, my past builds, I like to do things in terms of full blue belts worth, and that's 45 units per second of an item. This tileable build will be able to provide us with 4 full blue belts of red circuits. That's 4 times 45 per second. So what is that? 180 red circuits per second, which is pretty big. And we're going to split that up. We're going to split up each belt in half in order to fill 8 lanes, which will fill our 2x8 trains. As always, if you enjoy the content, be sure to smash that like button, click the subscribe button as well if you haven't already, and that little notification bell down there at the bottom keeps you up to date with all new content that comes to the channel. I stream every weekend over at twitch.tv/Bedivere. All the links to all my socials, including Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, are in the description down below. All right, y'all, let's hop into the playthrough here. In the last episode, we finished our plastic build. I was able to go in and fill in all of the modules, the speed modules here, as well as the production modules in each of the chemical plants and the refineries. And we see here that we have a full train station here of 8 full belts of plastic just waiting to be used, and we are going to use them today. I'm going to be posting the Factorio calculator that we're going to be using for this build. If you look at it, it's going to produce 45 items per second. This is just for one sliver of it. We're going to multiply this by 4. So 45 red circuits per second is produced by 72 factories, all speed moduled, no beacons. And the reason why is because this build here keeps it a nice even number. You see the amount of copper cables that we need 6 assemblers per full blue belt of red circuits, and that 72 number is really nice because it's divisible by 6, right? So if we do what was that, I can't do math in my head, 72 divided by 6 gives us 12 red circuit assemblers per copper cable machine, and that is going to be super beneficial. So essentially how we break this up is we have each tileable section, right? We break up one full red belt build into 6 little parts, and you'll see here what we do here in a minute. I went ahead and took inspiration from our stream playthrough, so if you haven't followed already, follow the Twitch channel, go see the live streams. That's where we come up with a lot of our MegaBase-scale builds. I went over here and got the spacing down. Here's going to be the spacing. I'm going to plant it in this little corner. Oh, also, if you see here, I did a massive upgrade to our power system because we were running at about 50% capacity. I added a bunch. Sorry for all that, for those of you that don't like the flashing. I added a bunch of these, and our total power now is 24.4 gigawatts. We're only using 2, so we got a big cushion. The one issue that arose though was we're producing a lot of used up nuclear fuel here, which made me reconsider the build that we have here. Right now we have the uranium-235 as well as the dud uranium, the light and dark, whatever, all on the same belt and being filtered out on the same belt, and it's not producing an even number. What I think that I'm going to do is tear this whole thing down and filter out using filter inserters the petroleum or uranium-235 and 238, I think it is 238. So for example, here, see here, you got a filter inserter. I would have basically a filter inserter going on one belt as well as a filter inserter going on another belt out here, and then having like this buffer system, but having 2 belts in it, and one being just the uranium-238 and one being just the uranium-235. Is that, I don't want to be saying the wrong thing. Let me double check what it is. Yeah, 238 is the dark green one. So I think I might have to redo this so that I'm not constantly, you know, dealing with rebalancing, you know, this inserter and making sure this stuff goes, because then it's not held back by the different color, right? It's all going to be on one line. So that's going to be a project for a different episode. If you want to see that episode, like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know that you want to see that. I want to keep it in the same area, but maybe just, you know, hug it a little bit more here, use a little bit more of this space here, and yeah, just kind of reinvent this, because at the scale that we're going, I think that this, you know, merging the 2 colors isn't the best idea. So yeah, but right now let's go to, oh no, actually let's check the blueprint. So the blueprint here is going to be like so. So you see here, this is one full red belt here, just multiplied by 4 times, right? So you see 8, no, this is actually should be 4 red circuits divided from top to bottom, 8 plastic, 8 green circuits, and 8 copper plate. Actually, the copper plate is going to be, I think the copper plate's in the middle. Yeah, the copper plate's in the middle. So I messed up that description. But so you see here, we have the copper plate is going to be this middle lane. It goes into, we need 2 belts, or sorry, no, we need 4 full belts of copper cable, but each of the copper cables requires, if I expand this, the 4 full belts of copper cables is going to come from 1.5 copper plates, 1.5 belts of copper plates. So I just rounded up, had 2, and that's why I like this build too, because if you scale it up by 4, then if you have 2x8 trains, you know that 2 belts scales up nicely, and you'll find here with the green circuits and the plastic, 1 full belt requires 2. So in order to make 4 full belts of red circuits, you need 8 of each. So in all, this will consume, or this will have like 3 2x8 trains, and it makes the ratio super nice, which is why I did it the way I did it. Some will say, oh, we need production modules. I'm more so of a build with aesthetic as well as practicality, and you know, having just those 3 trains focus on just this one thing. I don't know, it just makes it nicer, in my opinion. You can play however you want. So you see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our copper wire, of our wire plants, each with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the modules on each, and then they feed in to this middle here, this middle lane that goes in, and we got our 72 red circuit assemblers, and then this middle lane here follows down the entire way, and that's our middle lane of red circuits, and then it splits off into 2 to go to the train. So we should be, oh, we didn't even start moving. Great, I explained that entire thing and we weren't moving. I wanted to go en route to it. Okay, so we'll go over here. Oh, no. Before we do that, let's go ahead and actually pick up all the resources that we need. So if we check our blueprint here and we right click, you see here in the lower left-hand corner how many belts we need. And this is going to be a lot of belts. So we need, let's just round up to 6,000 blue belts, 1.5 thousand speed modules, 100 productivity modules, a bunch of fast inserters. Okay, so not too bad. The biggest thing is going to be the belts. So let's have these blue boys here. Let's go out of the map. Blue boys here. Let's have you request 3,000. Like so. And then have you request 3,000. Actually, since they're both the blue, we can just copy and paste that. Perfect. Our bots are going to go get that. Awesome. And then how many? So we don't have enough speed modules. We have enough productivity modules. What I might do here is just temporarily shut off the productivity module production and just focus on the speed module production, because I am going to need a lot of that. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. What else are we going to need? So we got our belts taken care of. We need our speed modules, fast inserters, long-handed inserters. So we will be taking our speed modules. Let's just do 1.5. This will need, let's just round up to 600 and then round this up to 600 as well. There we go. All right, what else are we gonna need? We're gonna need a bunch of the assemblers. I know that for a fact. 312 assemblers, 300, let's just do 14 of that, and then underground 550. So this, on our main guy, we can request the 550 inserter or undergrounds. We can request the, crap, was it 350 assemblers? Pretty sure. 350, and then we can request, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the power poles, 400, 170, 150. So then this is gonna be 400, and then stack inserters, let's request 200, and I think that was it. I'm missing one, I know I am. This 150. Let's check one more time. So got all these. We got the 550 there, 400, 350, one. This needs to be 170, 150. Yeah, so we're good. So this just needs to be changed to 170. 170. All right. So we are good on our supplies. Let's see here. Yeah, we're good. We're all set. I think these guys might be a little bit short. Yeah, these guys are a little bit short, but it's okay. We're gonna get that built here. So we can go ahead and set off. So we're gonna be building our red circuit production here. It's going to take up, a decent amount of space. I think there's room for maybe one other one. And then the next build that we're going to need to do is our blue circuits. Blue circuits, I found out a great build. It's nice, compact, requires a whole lot of products, but it produces, like, one chunk of it produces, what is it, like two, I think it's 2 full blue belts of blue circuits. We're going to need a butt ton more of green circuits. And since we're going to need more green circuits, we're going to need to up the production of our iron plate as well as our copper plate. I'm going to need to do that maybe off camera, maybe today, depending on how much time we have. But essentially what we're going to need to do is triple, quadruple the amount that we're sending here. We need a lot because that one build of blue circuits, I think, requires 4 2x8 green circuit trains, and green circuits takes a lot. We're going to need to expand this depot too here, but yeah, like, just green circuits takes a lot of products. Okay, so let's activate our robots. Oh, dang it, I forgot the rails. Well, we can do what we can do without rails for now, and then I'll go back and get some more rails. That was the one thing that I forgot. Okay, so we're going to go to our blueprint. I have this here with all the stops. Whoa, frame rate. Let's go up to our map. All right. So this, let's just line it up here. There we go. Yeah, that's what we needed. And let's just copy down all the rails here. Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 minutes, have my robots build everything out, clear out all the trees, everything like that. What you see here, let me deactivate my robots really quick, because I wanna go through and have the mini map, you know, highlight everything. What you see here, we got a green circuit train. This is going to be our copper plate train. This is going to be our plastic train. And I did a cool little thing. You'll see here once it actually gets filled, they do a nice little weave, the green and white. That's kind of a cool little color thing. But you see here, like, it's nice, compact, it's orderly. You got, you know, a row of 3 for each, and then it goes into, man, all the trees. It goes into our depot here, and then our red circuits. So I'm gonna take 10 minutes to make sure this all gets built. I'm gonna clear all the trees here, make sure this all gets built, and I will see you here shortly. Thanks. All right, so we are back. We got our 3 stations here. All that we need left is, I think we need a few more modules. Yeah, we're short a little bit on our speed modules. We need to add our trains and then also set up our fuel station here. So while we're on this side, let's go ahead and do all the stations. So this is where our green circuits are going to come in. So let's just rename this to demand GC. All right, and then enable when a green circuit train is required. Let's see here. So that's requesting. You see here, all of these 3 stations are all connected. You see in red, we got 14 trains of copper plate needed, 14 trains of plastic needed, and 14 trains of the green circuits needed. This is going to be our copper plate in the middle here. So let's go ahead, rename this demand. Let's see, demand, oh, copper plate. There we go. Perfect. And then, and the same thing here. We're going to do demand plastic. Where's demand plastic? Do we have a demand plastic? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Okay, so let's type out demand hyphen plastic. Let that go. And then what we need to do left is connect everything here to the neural network. I think we got to request it one more spot too. I think we got to request it over here. Or not request it, but attach it over here. And then at that point, we should get trains activated and coming in to deliver. I think all besides the plastic, I think the last thing that we need is going to be to set our plastic schedule. And let's just check our trains here. There we go. We got our first 2. First one's in there. Second one's in there, getting loaded. Awesome. And then copper. We got our copper plate getting loaded as well. Awesome. And then that's going to be on the way. Let's go ahead and go over here. We're going to add our trains. While we're walking, actually, I think I can set the train schedule for our plastic remotely. So if we go here, okay, depot plastic, then supply demand. Let's activate that. That's going to be set. This one we can activate as well. This one activate. This one activate. It's automatic. This one activate. This one activate. Perfect, perfect. I think they're all pretty much set. There we go. Now we need to, let's get out of here. Wow, let's get our robot legs going. Awesome. And let's turn them on. So we got our trains here. Perfect. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's copy or shift. Yeah, shift release. Oops, I didn't even get the locomotives in. Shift release. Components. Oh, add the trains. Then get rid of the rails. There we go. Why isn't it snapping? It should snap. Let's try that again. Let's try to have the rails with it this time. Plus the trains. Let's add the rails. Okay, so the rails you need to have if you want it to snap. There we go. All of those are set. Now, last but not least, in order for these to get fueled, we're going to need this to be our demand fuel. There we go. There's our train coming in, and then this needs to be set to nuclear fuel. All right, so that'll fuel up our trains. Where are these guys? Oh, nice. Nice, look at that. And you see how it kind of weaves in, you know, white, green, and then there we go. There's our first little bit of red circuit. So if you see the build here, copper plate comes in. You need 2 per column, right? We have 4, so 2 per is divided, you know, divides nice equally. Then on the outside here, they go in. They're all the way on the outside, and they kind of cut to the middle here. And I got a priority splitter just to make sure that, you know, it all goes. And then the output on this, like one factory I think outputs a bunch, so I had to make sure to have enough throughput with the inserters in order to satisfy it. So it outputs on either end, goes underneath, merges onto one belt, and then comes down the middle here. And then we also get 1 full belt of each color here on either end as well. And then you got the long-handed inserters outputting to the middle here. And then that pattern just repeats 3 times. And then finally, you know, on the last one, it just ends up here, going here, and then you got the rest of the belts here at the very end. And then it should, with all the speed modules input, like we're still missing a decent amount up here, it produces a full blue belt, and you see it's just a little bit of gaps, and then divides that by 2. And then you got like 8 half belts that are going into here. And that's still a huge amount. I love this build because, like, you see the 3 trains here are pretty much, excuse the autosave, are pretty much in line with the build. So what you can do is you can then tile it and basically have it repeat and have it all compressed and fit into one, which is really nice. I really like that. Pat myself on the back. I like that. I like this build. So yeah, that's filling up a, oh, what's going on here? No path. Why does it have no path? Oh, it's because the output here. That's why. Okay, so what we need to do, let's hop back into our Spidertron. Go here. We need to connect the rails on this end, which I didn't do before. Do I still have rails? Yes, I do. Okay, so this is going to go out this way. This, I don't think will fit. Oh, no, it will. Okay, and then that should allow that train to come in. Yeah, it is. It's coming. All right, let's just signal this up. There we go. And then let's add another regular rail signal here. Then this should be all set to go. Let's just kind of ghost this out. Nice. Okay, doesn't need to do all that. And that should be it until we need our trains for red circuits. So we'll leave this empty for now. Let's actually rename this to supply RC. Supply RC. Perfect. And then that should be connected. It's not yet, so let's go ahead and connect here. There we go. And then this combinator here is dividing our input by 64K. 64K is a full full train with 200 stack size. And then last but not least, we need to go here and then add our signals here. Let's delete this one and this one. Let's move it up. Oh, there we go. Move this up here, move that there, and then add the chain signals at before each intersection. And if you are unaware what I'm doing right now with the chain signals, I do have a video on how to use chain signals. It's a little tutorial. Go ahead and go back. I'm not exactly sure which episode it is. I can do a little thumb card or whatever at the top right hand corner of your screen. If you're still iffy on train signals, they are vastly important. So if you're a little lost right there, go ahead and check that video out. It runs through the basics. Let's connect the neural network to the output of this build, and that should be it. We got our red circuit build, and now these trains here are waiting up in the stacker. Got a bunch of stuff. Off camera, I'm gonna, go ahead and add our modules when needed. But yeah, this is it, man. This is exciting. This is the first step to next would be what? Blue circuits? Yeah, blue circuits are going to be massive. It's going to be a huge build. Not sure exactly where I want to do it yet. I might do it here. I'm trying to get rid of this stone patch. You see here, I'm making everything into landfill. We are going to need a lot of landfill, but landfill is the thing that consumes stone the most. And, stuff like this that's right in the middle of a nice building area. Or, for example, here, I might do it another loop that has, the three, enough mines for like 3 trains with the 3 different products, whatnot. Next episode, though, I think I might tackle this nuclear issue. And this is something that I haven't done yet in my stream playthrough. So it might just be raw. Might just figure it out as we go, which I think you guys would like that. I think having one issue that we figure out and solve on the fly in this series is going to be good to kind of see how I like to problem solve. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that in the next episode. We'll fix our nuclear to make sure that everything balances out. Because this backup is no bueno. You got to backup of the used fuel rods, and that's because of this backup here of the recycling, and like these dark green uranium-238 ore is being held up by the uranium-235 and it like merging together, and that's just not a smart build. So I think I'm going to redo it. I'll probably do that next episode, and then maybe the episode after we will tackle the blue circuit production. Not exactly sure where I want to do that. I need to get rid of this frontier base. I don't need it. I can cut it off. But yeah, we might do a little bit more, land grab. I like having everything spread out, because in Factorio, land is almost infinite. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll use our artillery as well. But that's going to be it for this episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a shorter one with these, outposted builds. It's really just kind of plopping down the blueprint, going through how it works, and then hopefully you guys can try to emulate. If you want a little bit more like grinding through and adding more mining outposts and all that stuff, like let me know and I can show more of that. It's just that type of stuff is a little bit more time consuming. I think breaking it up into shorter, concise chunks of different builds and how those builds expand the factory, I think that's going to be the good way to go. As I mentioned before, our next build is going to be fixing that uranium, just because I want that to be over and done with. And then after that, I think we'll have enough resources to tackle our blue circuit production, and then from there, it's onto the sciences. I think from there, it's onto the sciences and getting our rockets set up. That'll take a decent amount of episodes, but I'm sure that we can do it. As always, if you enjoy the content, be sure to smash that like button, click the subscribe button as well if you haven't already, and that little notification bell down there at the bottom keeps you up to date with all new content that comes to the channel. Thank you so much again for joining me, clicking on that thumbnail, and being so supportive. I'm really enjoying this community. If you want to interact more one-on-one with the community, ask me questions. I do stream Factorio as well as a range of other strategy games. I was streaming Humankind earlier at the time of this recording, so go ahead, follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Bedivere. All the links to all my socials, including Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, are in the description down below. All right, y'all, that's it for me today. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.